Good Monday morning, Southwest Arkansas. Welcome back, Southwest Arkansas weather. Taking a quick look at your morning update, starting off with what we currently have temperature wise across Southwest Arkansas as of 9 a.m. at the time of recording this. Temperatures range from the lower 30s, sitting at 31 degrees in Hot Springs, Mount Ida, and DeQueen, and into the mid to upper 30s across the rest of Southwest Arkansas, where Mena's at 38 degrees currently. Current satellite continues to show an increase in some cloud cover, and that's going to continue to be the case as we go throughout the morning and throughout the day today. We should continue to see an increase in some cloud cover across Southwest Arkansas, so expect that to continue as we go forward throughout the day today. Taking a look at forecasted highs, they're going to range from where Mena's at right now, 38, but they may get up to 40 degrees today. We have a little system moving through, a little cold front coming through that's going to try to stall or keep temperatures in the 30s up there across northern portions of the coverage area in northern Arkansas, while further south, we're going to have some temperatures in the 50s and 40s for your highs today. Once again, northeast wind of around 5 miles an hour with cloud cover increasing throughout the day. Overnight lows going to be down into the teens and 20s across the region. Cloud cover decreases overnight on Monday. We're going to have some calm winds there as well. Taking a look at the 6-day forecast, that's going to lead to mostly sunny skies on Tuesday with highs in the 50s and 40s once again. Overnight lows in the 30s. And as we go into Wednesday, rain chances increase to around 60% currently. Mostly cloudy skies. With highs in the lower 50s and upper 40s, overnight lows in the 30s. And as we go into Thursday, another day of highs in the 50s and lows in the 30s. Partly cloudy skies, though, on Thursday. Maybe some leftover rain showers. And then the big time frame we're watching Friday, Saturday. Temperatures are going to drop throughout the day Friday. Maybe some wintry mix late that Friday time frame. And temperatures get down potentially into the teens. And then we go into Saturday, the big day, with another chance of a wintry mix throughout the day. Highs only in the 20s, and that may still be a little too warm there with us being at 28 degrees. We may can even drop that lower with overnight lows in the teens across Southwest Arkansas. So real quickly, let's take a look here at some data. I want to show you a few things here with this. First off, before we go over that, let's talk about those rain chances through Wednesday. This is the Weather Prediction Center 72-hour precipitation just forecast of what we could see amount-wise. As you can see, that rainfall that occurs Wednesday is not going to be much. I don't think we're going to it's going to break us out of those burn bands by any means, as you can see. And maybe a tenth of an inch to a half an inch, maybe a little higher amounts across far southern Arkansas. But for the most part, not expecting much out of that as we go into that time frame. But as we take a look here at our GFS model and a few other models, let's continue to talk about the end of the week and this as we go into the second half of this week, really Wednesday through this weekend. So this is the GFS model, and remember, model data isn't perfect. We're still 4 to 5 days out from the winter weather chances. So right now, it's definitely not time to really start to make accumulation maps or anything of that nature. We're still monitoring the overall pattern and the system, because here's the biggest thing. There's going to be an area of snow, and there's going to be an area of wintry mix and some ice. More than likely, that snow area looks like it's going to be across northern Arkansas, and that ice is going to be across southern Arkansas. Where does that line up at? And you know how our coverage area is. Some areas, we're going to be right in the battleground. We could potentially be right in the battleground region of who sees what with that. So we'll talk about that more here in just a moment. But once again, as we go into Wednesday, you can see some of those rain chances increase. Remember, data is not perfect, but as you can see, those chances continue there across the region, and that's going to continue to be the case from what we've seen with those rain chances there on that Wednesday time frame. And as we go into Thursday, some leftover rain chances there. But the big story is as we go into that Friday time frame and this weekend, you're going to continue to notice an increase. And this may be a little too early on this. We'll have to watch this closely, but the idea is we start to see some wintry mix, maybe some snow as we go throughout Friday, just, a wintry mix across southern Arkansas, and then this moves us out by Saturday I think the GFS is just a little ahead on that. I think you can move that time frame probably a few hours later, where we see late Friday through the day on Saturday. That moves out, and if we take a look at the European model, it's going to show you a very similar scenario here. Biggest thing with this is there's those rain chances on Wednesday. Then as we go into this Thursday, Friday time frame, kind of start to see some rain chances increase. And the data may be just a little too warm with that, but we may have a rain that starts off with as temperatures drop throughout the day on Friday. And then we start to see that transition over to some wintry weather. And then as we go through Saturday, through Friday night into Saturday, you can see there's going to be that area somewhere where we see winter, or where we see a wintry mix and maybe some ice and some snow. Where does that set up at? That's going to be our biggest thing of where we're looking at with this. I'm going to show you these. Actually, we're going to look at the examples when we show you this. We're going to look at some of the examples on the just chances for freezing rain, stuff like that, because we're monitoring this pattern, and not really, this isn't the time frame to really dive into specifics, but you can see here, this is the freezing rain chances, and as we go into Saturday, you can see those just increase. So what this shows us is there is a pretty good sign. You're talking 70, 80%, 60% chance of, hey, there's a good chance of some freezing rain in some sort of way there with that. If we take a look at the snowfall chances as well, you're going to notice is when we look at this, mainly across northern Arkansas. While it does seep some south, northern Arkansas has the best chance for that snowfall currently. Once again, very dependent on where that freezing line sets up at, because here at the surface, we're going to be below freezing. Above us, though, once again, like we showed last night, may be just a few degrees above freezing. And where that occurs at, that's where you get your freezing rain or your sleet, stuff of that nature. And where your column of air from the top down is below freezing, that's where you get your snowfall in the most simplest terms that I can say there with that without confusing people. So taking a look at this on the GFS or the GFS Ensemble 2 shows those snow chances. Once again, northern Arkansas, maybe northern portions of our coverage area, but overall you get the general idea there. This doesn't have the freezing rain, but it shows pretty much a very similar scenario. Taking a look at what this is doing with temperatures, and once again, the big scenario is it's going to be cold. You can see here as we go throughout Friday, this is 6 p.m. Friday on the ensembles. So what the ensembles do, they don't really like to pick up on extremes. And when you see this is a good sign. Hey, it's going to be cold. Saturday morning, this is showing teens and 20s across portions of the area. And look at this. This doesn't even have us getting out of the teens and 20s on Saturday. So that's something that's new. And then that shows you Sunday morning, it's wanting to pick up some pretty cold conditions. So whatever stays here, that's even on Sunday too. You don't get above freezing on Sunday, so whatever falls is going to be here over this weekend and may cause some travel impacts into Monday. What you need to do now is get your winter weather plans ready, and get your cold air plans ready too. It's going to be cold, so make sure your remember the four P's: people, pets, pops, and plants. I don't know about plants this time of year, but those other 3 P's. Make sure that you're prepared with that. Make sure you are prepared for that colder air that comes in this weekend. As you can see, though, it still keeps that cold air around, and we may finally start to get towards where we're above freezing there briefly on Monday. The European model, let's take a look at that as well with this, show you what it's showing for that same time frame as we go into this weekend. There is Friday. You can see temperatures drop there on Friday, and then on Saturday, we don't get much above. This shows the 20s. Same thing as we go into Sunday there as well. So once again, general idea is it's going to be cold. That's one of the things to take away from that. It's going to be cold, and what else we see, we're going to have to iron out those details as we get closer, and we will continue to do so. But right now, at this time, general idea is winter weather is going to be a good possibility as we go into this weekend. What types? That's going to be what we have to iron out, and the amounts. Once we get closer, we'll start to get the amounts out. But once again, right now, general idea is There's going to be an area that gets ice and freezing rain or a wintry mix out of this, and there's going to be another area to the north that gets some snowfall. Where does that line up at? We got to iron out those details, and we will continue to do that. But once again, southern Arkansas looks like it's going to be the area that has a good chance for that wintry mix and some ice. Northern Arkansas may get the snowfall this time around. Not saying we don't get any snow down here, but it's going to probably be more majority of ice than it is snow if we do see snow with that. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. We'll continue to iron out those details. Big thanks as always to all of our sponsors. See you this evening for another update on your evening weather. Have a great rest of your Monday.